back with another Disgaea RPG video, and we're going to be looking at Majolene. She is on the banner with Z, but she is the unit you want. She is, I will say it, amazing. S tier amazing for sure. She is brilliant. So we're going to go through her skills, her evilities, her spells, and just see exactly why I think she's that good. So have a quick look at these stats here. Stats are always fairly basic anyway. High intelligence, high resistance, attack and defense low. Not too worried about that attack one. Defense is not worryingly slow, but it is quite low. Speed 56, so slightly above average, not too bad. These element resistances are 25% for all, so that's a nice touch to begin with. Staff 10, everything else is quite even actually. No, like 9, you get a random 9 in there, but 2, 4s and 6s, all good. But these main abilities, these are the big ones. Before I go into that, guys, please do remember, if you enjoy the video, please do hit like, and if you want to see more Disgaea RPG content, and you're new to the channel, please do hit subscribe. So this first ability, Witch's Authority, Party Intelligence plus 15%. So this is just the counter side to Z1. Z had Party Attack plus 15%. She has Intelligence. So it's quite a nice standard one. It is again for every unit in the game. It's not just staff users. It's not tied to a forte. It's not tied to a humanoid or a monster species, anything like that. It's everyone plus 15%. So a nice touch. At the beginning of turn, her SP plus 10. Fantastic. We love a key battery in this game. Especially self-sufficient key battery is always fine by me, especially if they can hit as hard as she can. And that's where we come into this NE5, Power of the Abyss. Damage that you do with a special move plus 45%. Massive output of damage there from this unit then. For me, that is a badass unit ability. You stick a couple of buffs on her, and she's going to be dealing crazy damage. NE plus 7, Twinkle Arts. At the end of the turn, attack and intelligence plus 30% for one turn for the character going directly after her. So that's similar to Dark Artina, that sort of thing, Rosalind. The person who attacks directly after her gets this nice buff. Now this is nice because it's irrespective of who they are, attack or intelligence, both of them, plus 30%, so whatever their forte is, they're going to be dealing some good damage. That's a very good support buff there. On to her skills. We'll look at skills, we'll look at spells, and then we'll go up and look at skills and spells together, look how they combine, all that sort of thing. So her first skill she learns, Pretty Splendor, a party-wide buff. Basic parameters other than HP plus 20%. That is very good. I mean, she's already, for me, she is a very hard-hitting unit, but now she can buff the entire team as well. She's making them less squishy because she's raising their defense, their resistance. If you've got some attack-based units on the team, they're going to be hitting a bit harder as well. I know it's only 20%, but 20% is still pretty good. Intelligence as well, that's going up. So Love Oracle, she has got a party buff where she just buffs intelligence and defense. This is where the spending of quartz comes into account. Because she is a unit you've got to buy, you get all of the other ones as well. You get attack, intelligence, resistance and defense, all of them, and something that she can do every turn. Not that something you're going to do for her, because she has got a better role in the team than just a 20% buff for everyone every turn. This second skill, Twinkle Shot, an area of effect attack, nice and cheap one. It'll be down to 20 on global. Lowers the enemy's resistance by 3% as well. But remember, it's all enemies, 3% each, so it's a nice total of 15% once everyone's added up, so it's pretty decent. Because she's staff, again, both of these attacking skills are intelligence based, so remember that as well. It is a fairly obvious thing, but Some units do have them reversed when they're the wrong forte, as I would like to say. But yeah, hers are intelligence based. Her NE3, the big move, Brilliant Heart, an S to S plus ranked power move. High cost, single target damage, but then it's got this nice little wording next to it. Further power up by SP consumption. Now, I can only believe that that means the more SP she uses before using this move, the higher the damage output from that move. All I can think it means. I don't think it means the more SP she's got, because I think I spoke to someone previously before, and that's what they thought it meant. I mean, it could possibly mean that, and this is just a bad translation, because this is just a direct Japanese translation onto the fandom wiki. This isn't the wording that's in the global version yet. This is just a translated version. But for me, the consumption is what makes me think it's SP used. Has to mean that, surely has to mean that. And believe me, with her, you're going to be using SP every turn. So when you get to this one, it is going to be obliterating anything in its way. So onto her magic spells. She's got all the star moves, as well as magic up and mega magic up. That right there, having mega magic up puts you straight up there on the support tier list, because it's very meta. It's very strong. It is a spell that you want on every unit possible. And because she's natively a staff unit, and you definitely want to build her as a staff unit, you're going to be getting these anyway, so I don't need to talk about that sort of thing. You're going to see all of these, and that's perfect. The star damage is quite nice, because none of her skills have any sort of attribute attached to them, so having on the spells, that's quite handy. It gives them a different edge for her, having it that way as well. So let's go back up to these abilities, these skills, that sort of thing. Just have a look how they all interact with each other. So straight off, I spoke about damage. Intelligence plus 15%. She's receiving that, of course. The damage you do with a special move, so that's going to be skills or spells, plus 45%. I see her being the sort of unit you're going to be using the Mega Magic boost on from another unit, and it's going to work perfectly as well. I've already mentioned Dark Artina, where she has that buff for the person attacking after her, and if Pure Sicily has already gone as well. Pure Sicily is an SP battery herself, as well as a buffer of staff users, so you getting these two attacking before Majolene, buffing her up, and she's going to be, I've already said it, pushing out incredible numbers, and just, yeah, obliterating anything that comes in her way. And if she doesn't finish the job off, the person attacking directly after her gets this nice attack or intelligence boost, and they can finish the job for her. So on most stages, when you go into this sort of thing, your initial sweeper is going to be using the AoE moves, first couple of waves. So thinking about content-wise and her SP consumption, because that ties in with her NE3, she's getting 20 SP as standard from herself, plus any SP she gets from other batteries. So Pure Sicily, you gain 7 or 8 SP. I think it's 7 SP you gain from Pure Sicily if you've got her at NE5. You're going to be using, so say, a harder content, Conquest Battles, Advents. You're going to be using that AoE attack for the first few waves. You're going to have used roughly 60 SP, and then you get to the harder stage, and you start having to use, and you might start building up your SP yourself, and then she gets around to using that Brilliant Heart move. Absolute, going to be a powerhouse of a move there. She's going to work really nicely as well, I think, for future raids. Not Calidia level, of course, because she hasn't got that 100% boost for single enemies. But having that 45% special move buff, you get the extra SP for raids, you get 25 per turn, plus an extra 10 from herself battery, plus whatever you get from the other batteries as well. You're going to be seeing that Brilliant Heart every few turns. Every couple of turns if you're lucky. You might get very lucky to get extra SP from that. Maybe got a couple of team attacks in there from other units as well. But the damage numbers she's going to be putting out is phenomenal. And what makes her even more future-proof is if when the next unit that comes out, staff-wise, that's even stronger than she is, she can then turn to being the buffing unit. She's got that Mega Magic boost. She's got this Pretty Splendor, the party buffing one as well. So she's just fitting all criteria for me. A very current unit, and a fairly future-proof unit. She might not be hitting the damage out in the future, but as I said, she'll be able to buff units as well. And that's why I would have much preferred to have Majolene over Zed as our free unit. I would say the only thing she lacks, like future-proofing wise, is a healing skill or healing spell. But on a staff team, you've got an abundance of that anyway, so it doesn't matter if one unit doesn't have it, because other units do. So for me, as I said, she goes straight up to as high as like top A tier, but I think she's probably more S tier. And I'll jump over to the tier list now just to have a look. So this is the current tier list that's been put together on the wiki, and the magic damage tier list. So the S tier, there's only one unit so far, and that is Pure Sicily. And I fully believe that she out damages Pure Sicily currently. I mean, we won't know for sure until she's released on Global. We can do a side-by-side look at what damage Pure Sicily is dealing out when fully buffed and what damage Majolene is putting out when she's fully buffed, but I definitely think Majolene, with that 45% damage buff, I think she's easily going to be the hardest hitter. And looking at the A tier units, I think mixed with like someone like Margarita, who reduces the enemy's resistance as well, added with Marjolene's high damage, it's going to be a great combination there. Yeah, I just think she's easily the highest damage dealing magic unit we're going to have on Globals when she is released. So that's why I think if staff is your main team, she's a must-have, definitely a must-have, and it's just currently the pinnacle of damage output for staff units. Anyway guys, that is my thoughts on her, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please do hit like, and as I said at the start, if you are new to the channel and you want to see more Disgaea RPG content in the future, please do hit subscribe. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.